Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm back at it again to make once again another video. Something I haven't done in a good while. But I figured, excuse me, I figured I would go ahead and do that since I'm sitting at the park. Just trying to get in some fresh air before I head off to work. I've made an effort to try and do that. Seeing how hectic my week is, it's kind of a way to not really unwind, but more so rewind, I guess. So on days like Mondays and Tuesdays, I'll try to come out here. Just, I guess you can say, open eye meditate, if you will. Like I said, just get some fresh air. Yeah. But I didn't really come prepared for much of a topic, but I did just get off of Donovan Sharp's live stream about where he talks about the fact that the black community is a collective, can't accept the fact that your boy Carmelo Anthony got 35 years for stabbing Austin Metcalf. I almost said Jeff Metcalf, but Jeff Metcalf is the father, who's from who I hear has been rambling and ranting, and understandably so. Understandably so. Because say what you will about the man, he's a grieving father who's mourning the loss of his son. Now, while the black community as a collective is mourning the fact that Carmelo Anthony is to spend 35 years in the pen, and they're actually rejoicing and celebrating the fact that Austin Metcalf is dead. I'm sitting back in a cut, looking at all this shit and saying to him, two thoughts come to mind. One, that man is grieving the loss of his son. Even if he was an asshole, even if he was a bully, so as they say he was, allegedly. Because I just, at this point, I don't even have enough of the details to But one thing I would say to the white community, as a racial referee, somebody who isn't necessarily on the black side, somebody who isn't necessarily on the white side, somebody who's pretty much just on my side, I have a message for the white community. I told you so. I told you, black men like me have told y'all, tried to tell y'all, how these people operate. We have warned y'all, things that you're just now becoming privy to has been going on like since forever. And honestly, I don't know where the fuck these people come from. They're not the generation of the, you know, they're not from the civil rights generation who marched out into the streets and, faced, racial oppression like none other just so that they could, get the same kind of, so that they could at least compete for the same educational and economic opportunities as their white counterparts. I don't know who these people are. All I know is that apparently after the civil rights movement, there grew and came a generation of black folks who were under the welfare system of LBJ, and from that grew, instead of communities, grew projects, grew the hoods of America, the ghettos, if you will. And this is a phenomenon that's been going on for, like I said, since the end of the civil rights movement, which was the late 60s, pretty much the 70s, if you will. Because on Donovan Sharp's live stream, I just arrived at where there was, he was he was pretty much reviewing, what some white guy, some Brad was talking about, as far as these people wearing these shower caps that we know as bonnets. We call them bonnets, and the fact that Keisha's all across this nation and probably all across the world, shit, knowing Keisha, wear them. And I typed into the comments section that YNs are wearing them now, which, dismayed, shocked. It had Donovan Sharp dismayed, shocked, taken aback, if you will, at the fact that YNs are now wearing wear these shower caps. Because he highlighted the shit. And he was like, to BJ Jones, tell me that you're joking. Tell me that you're kidding. And I was like, bruh, not only am I not kidding, not only am I not bullshitting, they're wearing them. And I don't think color really matters. I mean, just the fact that you have one on in and of itself is sus. But bruh, they're wearing them in purple now. Because wasn't there a time that they would at least wear them in black? Because, anytime I saw Keisha, usually, wearing a bonnet, like usually whenever I saw bonnet Keisha, she would wear it in black. I ain't really seen too many colors, with this bonnet wearing Keisha. But for the first time, if it was the first time that I saw a YN with a bonnet out here where I currently live, that fool was wearing it in purple, bro. So what I say at this point, it doesn't surprise me. And I think I'm gonna talk about this since my mind is kind of on random select, because I've seen the woes of the world. I've seen the woes of America. I've seen with this trial going on with that other kid in South Carolina who got killed by that Chinese dude, Rick Chow. And oddly enough, all of this is Oddly enough, all of this is taking place down south, like it usually does, either down south or in the Midwest. You know, somewhere back on the East Coast. But you know, even before, excuse me, I'm sipping some H2O. Just ran through this bottle. It is kind of warm today, as it is summer. Like, summer just officially started like yesterday or something. So now it is officially summer. My least favorite season, even though it does indeed have its perks. Like, you know, watermelon and the fact that pools are open. And if I hadn't said it already, I think I did bring it up that yeah, I was gonna call myself going to the pool today, but nah, doesn't look like I'm gonna be doing any swimming until the end of the weekend, because temps are supposed to drop into the 80s. It's about 90 degrees today, which, you know, would have been fun with me to go to the pool, but I don't really like going to the pool when the temps are too cool, which for me is like pretty much anything below 90 degrees. I don't really like using the pool or going to the pool, but I'm trying to make those pool days count because we only got 2 months. Pool opens early and it closes early. That's how it was in Memphis too, matter of fact. So it's almost like, you know, in a lot of ways, and that's exactly why I call this city Memphis 2.0. Maybe I should call it Memphis 1.0, because I don't mean Memphis 2.0 as an upgrade. I really mean it as a downgrade, where, you know, it has its own things, but at the end of the day, it operates under the same kind of playing field as Memphis. So basically, to me, it's just another Memphis, only with mountains and a much better economy. Kind of like the economy of the I don't know if y'all saw that butterfly, like the economy of the 90s. Yeah, there's this maybe I shouldn't show her. Yeah, I don't think I should do that. Yeah, I try to keep things confidential, but there's this neighbor of mine who just waved at me, and she got her all by herself, and she in some, I ain't gonna show her, y'all, but she in some, bro. Oh, I'm trying to get off. Oh, I think I need to go ahead and rush that, bro, on the real. Hold on, y'all. Let me. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I probably don't need to be doing that. I tell y'all, man, they got us out here starving, bro. Yeah, we starving out here in Colorado. I mean, not for money, not for want of money. Like, we took care of that, but you know, that whole dating thing. Yeah, when y'all see about the headline, y'all see the headlines about Denver being the worst dating city in the country. Yeah, man, believe it, man, believe it. My brother talks about it all the time. In fact, he went to Juneteenth. Yeah, I'm not gonna show her, but bro, she looking good in them, bro. Can't be doing it, bro. That's a married woman, bro. And I know that because I met a husband, because she's pretty much my I guess you could say pretty much my next door neighbor. She out walking her dog. Damn, bro. Well, maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the answer that I needed, because, eye-wise, you looking for indicators of interest, and if she was about it, she probably would have walked up to your boy, and seeing she didn't. Yeah, she's just trying to keep it friendly, which, maybe that's the best route. Maybe that's the best route. I'm just saying, they got us out here starving for women's, bro. They got us out here starving for women's. 'Cause it's bad out here, bro. Anywho, let's just like Umar Johnson said, we must stay focused. Let's get back to, let's just stay focused. Let's get back on point. Yeah, I was gonna say, my brother went to this little Juneteenth festival that they had, which all it did for me is just raise the prices on my Lyft. So I was up here paying $26, $27, damn near $30, just so that I can get a ride home, after work. So needless to say, I didn't go, but yeah, he was. He often talks about the black population, which I don't even deal with, which is actually what I'm here to talk about, the black population. That's pretty much the crux of my video, Damn, I would like to rush there, bro. I'm just saying, bro. I know it's bad, I know it's cheating, but bro, we starving out here, bro. Damn. I'm saying that as I see her walk. She's walking like out there. Y'all probably can't see her, so it don't matter. But I'm just saying, bro. But no, like I said, I'm gonna take it as a sign. Yeah, back off. Don't do nothing. Don't do too much. Like, all right. But yeah, and I don't know what he was doing. He may have been trying to my brother at this Juneteenth festival. He may have been trying to shoot his shot, because he's told me about, like, he's done way too much for this so-called black community out here that I don't fuck with my damn self, that I done damn near gone to fisticuffs with, because I don't know if I told y'all about the fact that this nigga was up here looking up and down at me, and bro, I never liked that shit, bro. That's just something you don't do with me. You don't eyeball me, bro. Like, I'll come get with you, bro. I'll come see what's up with you. Nigga was up here looking up and down at me, calling himself, rolling his eyes. I'm like, you got an eye problem or something, cuz? That's exactly what I said to that nigga, and he didn't want it. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought, nigga. I'm like, then don't be flashing that bad eye at me, motherfucker. He was like, man, I don't even know you. I'm like, I don't know you neither, nigga. What the fuck you looking at me like that for then? You don't know me. I don't know, no. I'm like, I don't know now one of these niggas out here, bro. I'm like, nah, y'all do what y'all do and stay in your lane. These old weird ass niggas of the West, bro, who obviously have forgotten where they come from. You got these weird ass Rocky Mountain niggas, bro, and I'm like, bro, and that's another thing too, bro. It's not so much by me. This old weird ass niggas. And I'll record his ass. Yeah, this old weird ass. I can't do it. God damn, I don't know if y'all saw that, bro. Y'all probably saw a little bit. What is this nigga riding, bro? This nigga got a wheel version of This nigga got a tricycle version of a bumper cart donut. What is these? Man, I can't, bro. God damn, man. I can't with these Rocky Mountain niggas, man. Oh, God, bro. They are so weird. And so it's no surprise. It's no surprise that that we obviously don't see eye to eye. Just like my brother, he's been to dating events, that were black centered. He went to this seedy knockoff club somewhere that, I guess hosted, it was supposed to have been for black folks. It was supposed to be, black centered, if you will. And he went to this Juneteenth festival, and and it was always close but no cigar type shit. Whereas, a nigga like me ain't even trying like that for real. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to deal with my bro. He got me up here. I'm trying to knock the panties off my neighbor's wife's skirt, the one who just walked by walking her dog. I'm trying to deal with that type of skirt. But hey, I promise y'all, I'ma fall back, bro. I'ma fall back. That was the sign I needed. Like keeping it funny, keeping it friendly. I'ma fall back. Because I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but I'm just gonna take it as, we can be friends, but stay your black ass over there sign for now. Because that is a married woman. Even though, that ain't saying much these days. Bro, do you know how many married women's I've scooped up? Well, could have scooped up, didn't scoop up, but could have scooped up. Bro, it wouldn't be I'll tell you what, it wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be, in fact, I got Charles, bro, these, and of course this was back in Memphis, but, these broads were one of these broads was so disrespectful, and the crazy thing is that she was from China, and back then, I wasn't nearly as swole as I am now, because, all I do now is just lift weights. I don't do that running shit like I used to. I did that shit for 12 years. It's so funny because it had me thinking like, the scene off Forrest Gump where he just, and I, you can almost relate too, especially if you've been in love before. You met that one who just, just does that to your heart. Like you just, some about it is, you just, which is probably just a feminine energy, and we don't get a whole lot of that in Memphis. And I find it very funny that it was almost like a slight, like these for these Cali women, these women from California to come to a place like Memphis and outdo y'all when it comes to presenting feminine energy, the kind of shit that makes a nigga fall head over heels in love with, the type of biochemistry that's required for a nigga to be sprung over a female. They kind of outdid y'all on that shit. Then again, Memphis is infested with Keisha culture, so what do you expect? But anyway, with Forrest Gump being a little jaded about Jenny kind of coming and then just going, and then he decides to just go in this cross country tour running all up and down America and shit. And I was telling someone at the pool last week that I didn't necessarily do that. I wasn't running up and down all of America, but I pretty much was running up and down all of Memphis. And I was telling her how I lost a shit ton of weight. I lost about a good 50 pounds doing that shit. And I didn't even do it for the sake of it. I kind of told her that I probably should have participated in a triathlon or something of that sort, because we had them. We definitely had them. But, I just did it really for the hell of it. And like I said, I just looked in the mirror one time and said, yeah, I'm fat as fuck and I'm not even that strong. So I was like, shit, well, I can go two ways. I can either be skinny, lean and mean and cut, or if I am going to be a big motherfucker, I'm going to be strong than a motherfucker. So I went that route. Now I'm going the other route where I'm big as fuck, but I'm strong as fuck. And whereas he did that for about 3 years, I did that running cross country shit for 12 years. Because I stopped just a few years ago for the sake of lifting these weights. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to call time out on the cross country shit. Because for me, even cutting calories or burning too many calories, it affects my weightlifting ability. It really does. And I'm gonna get back on it someday, but right now I'm just focused on bulking and strength gains. And I'm knocking at the door of 315, 325. I feel like I should have been on this shit. But I say that to say that there was one time, back in Memphis, because at first I had lifted a lot of weights, and I was at the point where my max was 235, but I might have, we're talking about 15, 16, 17, 13, 14, 15, 16 years ago. So there may have been, I think I was attempting to press 245. So I had a great deal of muscle, and even when I lost all the weight, my max was probably like 205 on a really good day. So what that did is that it shredded me up. It cut me up, losing the weight. So much so that your boy even had abs. And I wasn't even doing ab exercises like that. I just cut down. And, it had me, looking like real muscle tone where, I had, low body fat, but, but my muscles were showing, even though I didn't have a whole lot of strength. And bro, this Chinese girl walked up in there talking about and said it in front of her pudgy couch potato body ass dude. She gonna say, she said, wow, big muscles. I was like, damn, no the fuck she didn't in front of your nigga. You can't be a little bit more discreet. And that's kind of how they are out here. Like when they choose in Colorado, when they choose up on your ass, they'll do that right in front of their niggas. I'm like, ma'am, you can't be a little bit more discreet than that. If you gonna be a hoe, I ain't mad at you, but at least be a little discreet so this nigga don't come back and kill us both. That shit happened to me just a few weeks ago. I was at eating at this Vietnamese restaurant, and this white girl up here eyeing me and shit. Cause like I said, your boy getting jacked, your boy swelling up. You already can bench 305. Yeah, I'm struggling to get to 315, 325. I figured by the time this summer's over, I should at least be at 315. I'm looking forward to that shit. But So yeah, I say all that to say that, even my brother ain't connecting with this so-called black community out here. So again, once again, it's time for me to get off that tangent and talk about what I really came here to talk about, which is this black community that, mind you, I had to escape. The Keisha community, if you will, the matriarchy that the white community is just now becoming privy to. I mean, whose idiosyncrasies the white community is just now becoming privy to. Things that, black people like you and I have endured and had to run them. Yeah, and once we got a chance to tuck tail and basically bounce, we did. But I tell you what, man, ever since I've left this Keisha community, these niggas have gotten weird. Y'all have gotten weird on your boy. Y'all have gotten weird on the nigga. Since I left back in, and by community, I mean community, because, I stay in a house full of niggas. It's not like I'm just around, I'm in Whiteyville and, all day, every day. And even though I'm in a part of the world now that's supposedly 10% black, according to the statistics, I'm like, shit, I can't tell because everywhere I go is niggas. And my house is niggas. It's like niggas everywhere. So I'm not exactly bereft of the presence of black people, per se. But as a community, being up in the hood some motherfucking where, being up in a city like Memphis, just like being in Chocolate City, if you will. Yeah, I dipped. Which was almost 9 years ago, my nigga. We coming up on 9 years. And ever since I left, you Negroes have gotten weird because, like, those elements of the hood that I escaped, via, Memphis's rendition, Colorado does indeed have that. They got, you got 5 Points, you got Park Hill and Aurora and shit. Needless to say, you got YNs. And like I said, it was just about that same week ago. And yeah, and another thing, now that it's on my mind, I'm glad it came to mind, is the fact that, these Keishas out here are pretty much bed wenches. Because even with Negroes like me, who make no kind of effort, and, historically speaking, I have never made much of an effort to get with Keishas. Because, like I said, I grew up around them, so I know how they are. But their flex out here is to get with a Brad and then show them off. Because that's what these Keishas was doing. She was almost like trying to, how men mate guard and shit. These bitches would be out here, I guess I'll just call it, for lack of better words, trophy presenting. Like I'm supposed to be mad. Like I'm supposed to give a fuck. Because if I did have anything to say, if I gave enough of a damn to have anything to say, I'd been like, bitch, I gave up on you Keishas at least 10 years ago. What are you talking about? You can be dating the fat Chinaman that whose wife was crushing on your boy back then. For all I give a fuck. Like, bitch, I don't give a fuck who you date and lay up with and have mixed kids with. Like, why are you even presenting me this Brad? I don't care. But that's your Colorado black community. I'm like, well, thank you for showing me who you are. Once again, arbitrarily. All for me to begrudgingly or apathetically sharing on the experience. Thank you for the experience. It's the very reason why I'm over here chasing Becky skirts right now, or having a mind to, like my neighbor's wife, who like I said, I'm gonna fall back, but you better keep a leash on her, because it's hard enough to get one to acknowledge your existence. So when one does do that, I'm like, shit, what you think? You think a nigga ain't gonna investigate? In a time, that's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all do it to yourself. Y'all do it to yourself. Because I will do that, bro. In a town where... Oh, shit. These ants? Tell me these ain't ants. I'm looking at this tree. Y'all forgive my ADD. I wasn't diagnosed with ADD or nothing like that, but man, y'all saw, bro. I was gonna walk over there. She kept on walking on. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. Maybe I should have stopped her when she was waving at me. Yeah, well, well, like I said, I'll take it as a sign. But yeah, man. So there's that bed winching dynamic, and like I told Donovan Sharp, the YN wearing bonnets now dynamic. And there's some other shit that I can't think off the top of my head right now, but I've seen since I've left. I say all this to say that ever since I've left the Keisha community, you Negroes have gotten weird, bro. Y'all have just gotten weird on the nigga. Y'all really have. Y'all just gotten weird. I mean, I'm like, what's going on? Not that I really want to know for real, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And, but low-key, inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds trying to figure out, okay, who's the alpha male now? Because at least back in my day, the alpha males, some 25, 26 years ago, were the basketball players, the football players, which I'm sure still goes on to this day, but it's like today that seems to be limited only to like professionals, like folks in the NBA and NFL type shit. Because my progress as an athlete has been one of going from being, this runner. So needless to say, not carrying a whole lot of muscle mass or just mass period, to now being that of someone who now has the similar body strength of, some high school or maybe even college football player. And I'm being seen as such, even at my age, at my advanced age, and being treated as such. Like, with these niggas up here with these niggas hating on your boy. And, Noto Content talks about it all the time, about, body game and shit, and how these niggas will hate on you. They pay more notice to you. They pay more notice to you than the hoes. Who, like I said, coming up out the black community, I ain't trying to track like that nowhere. This ain't for you. Shit. Whatever swollenness I get, bro, it ain't for you, no. I'm like, you ain't gonna appreciate it nowhere. I'm like, this, so okay, it's not for you. But your mans is up here checking me out and hating on, your boy more than you is. And got on a bonnet. And not only a bonnet, a purple bonnet. That's what I said. When and I commented after Donovan Sharp, was shocked at what I had to say, and I was like, bro, not only am I not kidding, because I said, bro, not only am I not kidding, they're wearing them in purple. The YNs are wearing bonnets in purple. This nigga had on a purple bonnet, bro. And you know something, man? Deep down, I couldn't prove it. I couldn't see it because, that so-called black masculinity shit, it always seemed on surface level performative. Tough ass niggas just wilding the fuck out. It always did seem like some performative shit, but it was always masked under like true masculinity, in which, you had like swole niggas like the gangbangers of the, and the LA gangbangers of the 70s, 80s, and I dare say even early 90s. These swole, jacked up Tookie Williams looking ass motherfuckers. There was always that, that shroud of like, real masculinity type shit. And we don't really see that in today's time now, do we? Especially coming up out this black community. We don't even really have tough ass niggas for real. We just got on the slick, on the real, we just got YNs. We just got YNs. Motherfuckers who besides a gat can't and won't bust a grape. Can't bust a grape, won't bust a grape. Because, back in my time and in the earlier times, like the 90s are really, 70s and 80s too, motherfuckers would bust a cap in your ass, but, they'll shoot you with them fists too. So it wasn't always like, yeah, you have to resort to fisticuffs. You have to fight. And I come out of that generation, that fighting generation. Because it's not like I could have gone to school with a gat. So your boy had to fight. You know what I'm saying? But now, like, everybody just carrying blicks, and they skinny as shit. Hence the skinny jeans epidemic. And and I remember that shit. That shit started back in the 2010s. Whereas 20 years prior, you would have got flamed for wearing some tight ass shit like that. And see, and that's another thing about the the absolute hypocrisy of the communitah, is that how you just can't seem to keep up with it. One thing that's cool today, instantly, let it be sponsored by some mainstream rapper. Because I tell you, what was cool today, like, a cat like Waka Flocka, he already on some yesterday type shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all remember when Waka Flocka was the name? People don't really bring up Waka Flocka like that. I couldn't tell y'all. Like, I would say Julio Fulio, but that nigga been dead for at least 2 years or so. Killed by his ops. That type of shit. I couldn't tell you who the Waka Flocka is, or the King Von is of. I'm guessing. I would guess, probably erroneously, Pooh Shiesty, since everybody's wearing the Shiesty mask. So I'm just gonna take a wild guess and assume, the Waka Flocka of today is Pooh Shiesty. Right? And that other nigga who used to roll with Dolph was like related to Dolph, whose name I can't remember right now. But y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, your name big today, and then you old, and then after that, after a day like today, you old tomorrow. I mean, it's just that fast. You can't, and it's on the slick. It's been like that, bro. You can't keep up. You just can't keep up with this come. But what they got going on now, bro, I'm just looking from afar within the confines of, or I won't say confines, but the neighborhoods of, what my neighborhood used to look like 30 years ago. Before the Section 8 takeover, of the 2000s, and then followed by the recession of 2008, bro. The 2000s was all fouled up, and Memphis ain't recovered since. If anything, it's gotten worse. Which again is why I left. But like I said, man, ever since I left, you niggas have gotten weird. You niggas have gotten gay. Because, and that was the thing. That was a shame tactic. It was a shameful thing to be considered gay. To be accused of being gay. Because y'all probably know your boy ain't gay. But best believe your boy has been accused of being gay. By the very same people who turn out on that gay shit themselves. So again, what the fuck are we even talking about? What are we even talking about? See, I wish you Negroes would stop making excuses. See, one thing I wish you Negroes would stop doing is making excuses for your self-hatred as far as your dealings with each other. Just looking for a reason to make distinctions, doing all that Willie Lynch shit that y'all do when y'all come around each other. Because I'm like, when does the gaslighting ever stop? Does it ever stop with you? Shit, not to mention the self-hate. Because stupid ass teenage little bots talk about you out here showing your titties. These little dots they got out here, man. Yeah, at least y'all see I ain't going after them. Nah, they way too young. And yet, obviously, I'm not gonna show them neither. Y'all might hear them in the background. But what was I finna say? Just the years of goalpost moving and looking for a reason to hate on your fellow black man when at the end of the day, y'all just hate black people. And I'm talking about niggas. Because, that's what I was about to say. More and more info about, like, LA gangbangers and shit, it's starting to come out. Like how, that they're actually the biggest coons of the black community. Because they're actually getting on these podcasts confessing that, they'll leave the white man alone, they'll leave the Hispanic man alone, who has been actively, pursuing them and persecuting them for living in neighborhoods that they invaded. In my day, I mean the Latino community up here invading, communities that were historically black, and once they get their strength in numbers, they over there fucking with them. But they ain't got no smoke. But they ain't got no smoke for that Latino gangbanger. They ain't got no smoke for that Serena. But they got smoke for your black ass. Even if you a civvy, you don't even have to be banging, bro. They got smoke for you. I'm like, that's what y'all doing in LA? And then another little fucked up thing I heard and seen on the YouTube streets is about these OG Crips and Bloods. You know, basically, they just pointed, like, just basically dropped the dime, said that them niggas are gay. So all this time, these, you know, the most respectable supposed men of the communitah, since the LBJ generation, since what we have seen since the 70s, the alpha male, if you will, the highly aspired, you know, protege of a man that's the most highly esteemed in the black community since a time like the 70s. And I dare say that being not just a gangbanger, but being an OG gangbanger, is a homosexual. You see, another flaw that I found in the black community is is that while accusing me of being gay, never taking the time, you know, just labeling shit, labeling a nigga. Rather than going to investigate, we just gonna say he gay. Shit, I'm gay for that white girl booty. If that's what that's what gay means. Yeah, gay as in gleeful for that white ass, for that Becky ass. What are you talking about? I'm gay for that. But a homosexual, no. And you know something, you never really took the time to investigate how your boy really feels about homosexuality. Y'all never did that. Meanwhile, while you are up here demonizing the black men who actually stay out of the way, stay out of trouble, and actually go to school and get a degree, and you lionize the dudes, the gangbangers who out there in the streets shooting and killing and creating baby mamas and all the other shit and going into jail. You never really took the time to investigate what was going on. Not only did you not take the time to investigate what I think about homosexuality, you never took the time to investigate these very kind of men whom you lionize, and turns out they are the ones who are actually gay. I remember the 90s, bro. I remember that whole DL thing, the down low man. Niggas who would be up front. And it's a dynamic. It's what goes on in, like, cities like ATL. Cities that I would say actually has some of the finest of black women. And more than what I can say about the city I had to grow up in. Getting with these dudes who most likely learned it up in the pen. So they get out here and they act normal. They try to put on this act like they normal, like they like women and have sex with women, and yeah, they get with women. But deep down, they get them man urges. And they be out there having sex with men. I just saw it, and I know it was a movie back in the 2010s. And it was by your boy Tyler Perry, who a booty bandit himself. it was in that movie for colored girls. That scene where I think that was Janet Jackson, where she up in there, and she up here showing her mind you, her husband. She up here showing her husband, man and woman, husband and wife, these results, these test results from the clinic, talking about she HIV positive. And she like, where the fuck I get this from? Where the fuck did I get this from? Why? Like, she up here looking at this nigga like, why am I HIV positive? And this nigga up here slowly, because she up here like, so she up here talking about, oh, so you getting, like, she like, so you getting bent over? And he's like, fuck no. How you gonna say some shit up here acting out all outraged and shit? So I'm like, yeah, it only goes both ways, nigga. So she like, yeah, oh, so you doing the bending. Either way, bro. Cause y'all try to tell yourselves that it ain't gay. It's only gay if you getting the dick in your mouth and your ass. But if you putting it in another man's mouth and ass, it ain't gay. It's gay, bro. Either way. Whether you got a dick in your mouth and or ass, or you putting your dick in another man's mouth or ass, it's gay. Shit gay as hell. And to answer your question that you never bothered to ask, Keisha, what do I think about homosexuality? I think what the Lord thinks about it. It's an abomination. And he who does it will surely be put to death. That's in the book of Leviticus. That's what I think about homosexuality. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as woman with womankind. It is an abomination, and those who do it will surely be put to death. That's what I think about it. Y'all are hypocrites, bro. Self-hating hypocrites. But I wouldn't expect less from the 2/3. I wouldn't expect less. But once again, I'm just showing y'all detailed descriptions. Because, Donovan Sharp, he lives like in, because he said where he lives, it's been ages since he's seen a bonnet, because he lives in some, upscale part of Nevada somewhere. Which, he ain't got to worry about me coming to see him. I ain't trying to get shot, but I'm just saying, what's going on in the rest of the world, outside of, like, upscale America. Like, even for me, being in Colorado, which obviously I still got my work cut out for me. Because, yes, I've escaped one of the worst ghettos in the country, but, bro, I still got work to do. Because I tell anybody, Denver ain't going to cut it. Even that was temporary. That was just to get up out of Memphis and, get my money right. Because, I ain't really trying to go somewhere where it's, historically hot. Like, I know it gets hot than a motherfucker in the Southwest, like Nevada. I ain't really trying to fuck with that. But yeah, man, back to what I was saying, but yeah, and surely enough, the very things that, y'all criticized and accused me of being on, I'm like, bro, this is exactly the very same thing. I'm like, look at your boy Lil Nas X. Like, y'all niggas are going gay, is what I'm saying. And the truth of the matter is, y'all niggas been on that weird ass gay ass shit. And then tried to project that shit onto me. and guys like me, because we were actually engaging in masculine behavior, being calm and collected and chill and off to the side. That's how men act. It ain't hyper masculinity. Is not masculinity, bro. And I say that even amongst the most, physically imposing and dominant and outspoken of black men back in the day, Pookies and Ray Rays, if you will. Them niggas were actually exhibiting feminine energy. And it just goes to show you why it just goes to show as evidence as to why they didn't really mind going to prison, knowing what goes down in prison. See, I got a problem with going to prison because I know what goes down in prison. Now, look at this fool. Come on, bro. What is you doing, bro? He's supposed to go down this way, but for some odd reason, he's taking the... And I know he's supposed to go this way because the last bus did go over that way. So why is he going over into the neighborhood and it ain't no... See, yeah, you fucked up, my guy. Because he's pulling into an actual neighborhood. He's supposed to... Oh, these people stupid, bro. Yeah. Can you say DEI hire? Right. Oh, these dumb motherfuckers are DEI hires. That don't even make any sense, right? Because, for a bus that long, going that way, and I could see if there was a traffic obstruction, which there has been for some time, because there was a time they did have to go that way. But just from a I guess you can say, logistics standpoint, really a physics standpoint, it makes much more sense to go that way instead of into these narrow ass neighborhoods, unless, like I said, you absolutely have to. So, I mean, what's your boy doing? What are they doing? But I tell you what, bro. Between that shit and this ain't real. I would say this ain't even a knock on the LGBT community, because I'm like, do what you do, but at least be honest about the shit. I mean, if you gonna be a punk, be a punk. Just don't be out here accusing nobody of being a punk, bro. Trying to make it some kind of excuse for because you didn't want to give up the pussy. And then knowing Keisha be on some rights of refusal shit, getting mad at me when I'm up here chasing the girl next door, literally the girl next door's skirt. Trying to pull down her panties. But yeah, man, y'all niggas have gotten weird, bro. Y'all have gotten weird since I turned my back on y'all, if y'all will. And all I'm doing is doing what Sergeant Waters said. Long time ago, long before he saw. Because that was a soldier story was in reference of what was going on during the time like World War II, and what he was saying about the Sambo and Shine. What he said about the black race and the fact that we just can't, the black race as a collective just can't afford this Geechee. They was saying it back then, almost 100 years ago. Because even though, of course, that movie was made in the 80s, it allures to a time period like the 1930s and 40s. And probably even earlier than that, because, Sergeant Waters was clearly, he wasn't a young man per se, but he probably was a young man during the First World War, as he, talked about. some 30 years prior to World War II. And he talked about some ignorant colored soldier, while they were stationed in France, and was commissioned to I can't even hear myself think because of that damn siren. I'm trying to narrate what Sergeant Waters said about this, what he called this ignorant colored soldier, while they were in France. Yeah, it was like they tied a reed to it. Yeah, they put a reed on his head, a tail on his ass, and something else I can't remember, and pretty much made him eat bananas while dancing in front of all the Frenchies. Now, basically setting, black people, basically setting the black race back. Passing leaflets around calling him Moonshine King of the Monkeys. And, Sergeant Waters said they slit his throat. That's how I see you Negroes. I just may very well be Sergeant Waters. I just may be. Even with what Sergeant Waters came to realize at the end before Denzel Washington's part killed him. Because he came to realize that, Sarge or no Sarge, officer or no officer, white men, and they were stationed down in Louisiana, so I wouldn't expect less. I wouldn't expect less from. But like he said they still hate you. But I tell you, man, me being out here is just part one of basically me looking for a way to basically turn my back on y'all, as y'all have on me. I'm just returning the favor. I'm just showing reciprocity. Even in a time like the Rick Childs of the world getting acquitted, and I'm not here to say that Rick Child should have been acquitted. I'm not here to say that Carmelo Anthony should have been convicted. Because I don't know enough. I have yet to know enough of the details, but more footage is coming out that is pretty much, substantiating the fact that this was indeed murder, and that Carmelo Anthony didn't have to do what he did. But y'all have been out here making these stories that, 4 guys were jumping on him and that's been, confusing my own wiring, because if 4 big burly white boys are jumping on, best believe I'm going to pull out an equalizer and stab something. But, the stories keep on switching up, as they usually do. And more often than not, I don't know what to believe. Should I just go off of blind faith and believe you, Shine, as much as you lie? I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know what to believe. And, Angry Man, your boy Angry Man said that, Carmelo Anthony actually got lucky for a first-degree murder charge. He's saying he should have got more. I mean, and considering what's happened to that light-skinned kid down in Florida who shot Julio Fulio, because they were about to give him the death penalty. But it was actually one of them wardens down there who pleaded with them, like, not to kill him. That we can just use we need that boy. We can use him for sweat equity. He's like, no, don't kill him. Just put him on the chain gang. We can use that. He ain't gonna get out. See what I mean? See what I mean? Make me a liar. Tell me I'm a liar. See the bus pulling out that way, right? Yeah, because that's where they supposed to go. Because it's outside of the homes. I mean, outside of the neighborhoods, not within. Like that last goofy bus driver did going the other way. But man, I'll tell you what though, man. Between that, Carmelo Anthony, the dude there who killed Julio Fulio, and my plans, hey bro, I'm gonna let you niggas, and not to mention the niggas of Colorado, yeah, right, them niggas. I'm gonna leave you niggas to it. I will leave you niggas to it. Do what y'all do, bro. Just do it someplace else. Do it over there down south, like y'all been doing. Do it over there, over on the East Coast, like y'all been doing. Don't bring this shit around me no more, bro. Because it will be met with extreme prejudice. I will tell you to get your black ass on up out my motherfucking face. And miss me with that gay shit because y'all are some of the gayest motherfuckers I've ever met in my entire life. And y'all been that way apparently. It ain't nothing new because like I said, man, that DL shit, bro, that was back in the 90s, bro. The late 90s. I remember. I was a kid, but I remember. See, men like me, we didn't get to dig out. We didn't get a chance to dig out the booties that we wanted to. We didn't get to dig out to go on pound tizzy tours. So you think? I mean, don't you think your boy gonna feel some? You don't think your boy gonna feel some type of way about that shit? And not only are we not gonna feel some type of way about that shit, you don't think we gonna feel some type of way about that shit when we realize that the niggas that you did give it up to, you gave it up to a part-time homosexual, which makes you tainted because like on Janet, like on that show, that movie for color girls, like Janet Jackson's character, now you tainted, now you got HIV. I'm like, I don't want that shit now. You had sex with a nigga that fucks niggas. Because because theoretically, hypothetically, if you was to fuck with a nigga like me, I would have been running up in your booty. I would have been trying to get your booty, your mama's booty, your sister's booty, your female cousin's booty, of course, and your female friend's booties. Because all I've been trying to tell your hard-headed ass is that all I deal with is female booty. I'm a fiend for booty, and I didn't get the chance. I didn't get a chance to express that. And now I'm in the confines of Colorado, where the dating scene is just as fucked up, and I'm up here fiending for another man's wife, basically coveting, and for a Becky at that. And I know y'all don't like that. Yeah, but you up here, but your Keisha's out here, your Colorado Keisha's up here, calling herself trophy presenting a Brad to me. Like, I'm like, that's supposed to make me feel some type of way. So with that said, you obviously not a source for me to be, doing my freak nicks and doing my freak offs and all that other shit. Because the only difference is, bro, between me and the diddler, my freak offs would be entirely female. I'd be the only nigga with a swinging dick. Only difference. Besides that, yeah, we have the baby oil, all that shit, bro. All that shit. I'm that freaky ass nigga who didn't get a chance to be a freaky ass nigga, to do the freak offs, the freak nicks. Y'all did. And then what, like I said, what fucks me up is that y'all was doing it with niggas who was, like I said, on that down low shit, was low key gay. Like, how you gonna have sex with a nigga who's gay? I'm like, how does that even work? That's some Greek type shit, ain't it? Which is oddly enough is very ironic, because that's how the Greeks got down. They would use, they would have sex with the women for procreation, but they'd fuck each other for the pleasure of it. Romans too. So I guess that's what you weird ass niggas are doing as of now. All the while adopting more and more of the LGBT culture, as I've seen with what's that nigga Dwayne Wade and God, why can't I think of her name? Y'all have to forgive me. I am up in age now, so I'm a little senile. Because it's there. It's just that, it take a long ass time to come up with her name. It's like and it's always at the tip of my tongue. But whoever that bitch that faggot ass nigga Dwayne Wade with, and I know he a punk because he done made his son become a punk, and she going along with it. Whoever the fuck her name is, I know who she is. I remember in that movie back in the day, Bring It On, as well as many other movies. I just can't. My mind just got a barrier. Can't think and shit. But all this outrage, boycotting Asian businesses. Standing in, and I guess we all supposed to stand in solid. Like I said, I'm gonna let you niggas have it. Cause I just came back from the Chinese restaurant the other day, bro. And the Vietnamese restaurant, a week or two prior to that. I'm gonna let you niggas have it. Because it seems to be, like I said, when it comes to y'all, there's always these conflicting stories. First of all, I know how YNs are, especially in a part of the world like South Carolina. I know how y'all are. So when, a Chinese man like Rick Chow pew-pews one of y'all, pew-pews one of the YNs, I don't know what to believe, to be honest. Especially when the YN had a gun in his shit. Because rumor has it, while he's historically has a history of pew-pewing at customers who allegedly stole from his little shop, he's been pew-pewed at, maybe even pew-pewed on, and attacked by Keishas. This is what you people do. And then one of you gets attacked. One of you gets shot and killed, and now you want all black people, including Colorado niggas, to stand in solidarity and boycott Asian restaurants. Which again, I do stand in solidarity for, because if these Asians, don't get me twisted, bro. These Asians gonna have to learn. Y'all gonna have to do something about that. Y'all gonna have to do something about that anti-blackness, bro. So, Because I've seen and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm all for seeing Asian businesses suffer because they insist on mistreating the people of color, black people particularly, because they ain't necessarily got anything against people of color. They just got it out for black people. I hear you, so I feel y'all on that. Trust me, I do, because this Asian ain't no friend of mine. It's always been funny style when it came to me and this Asian, bro. And it's always been on site long before we could even get out of ni hao or annyeonghaseyo or konnichiwa or hayo gozaimasu. It was funny style. It was on site from the jump.